The TV1 News is proudly brought to you by BSP, our bank, our people.
Hello, I'm Jasmine Eru with TV1 News, and we'll have Rex Litter with sports news later on in the evening. 300 public servants in the National Capital District will immediately be removed from the government payroll as of Pay 15. Minister for Public Service Joe Sungi issued this warning in a statement on Monday.
The Public Service Ministry has directed the Department of Personnel Management to adhere to the Ministerial Directive Number 1 over 2023, which was issued on the January 26, 2023. Minister for Public Service Joe Sungi says this directive issued to all heads of agencies stipulates that public servants paid through the government of PNG payroll will have to be registered by the end of June to remain on payroll as part of the exercise to identify ghost employees paid through the government payroll. He stressed that all public servants must be registered in order for DPM to do payroll cleansing to comply with the 1PPP policy and identify real persons against public service positions. The minister directed DPM and all other agencies at hiring points to immediately take action to remove respective officers in NCD who are without NID from the payroll. This exercise will commence to seize public servants without NID in NCD and later do the same for provinces by the end of August. Numerous circular instructions have been issued by Secretary DPM since NEC Decision 71 over 2017, 18 over 2021, and 380 over 2021 were taken on NID. As a result, Secretary DPM took action and issued circular instructions 9 over 2016 and 6 over 2020 and 30 over 2020 to all agency heads, which was simply ignored without adherence. The directive is now to take action and put all public servants without NID off the payroll. There are 307 public servants in NCD from 49 agencies as listed below who are yet to be registered with their NID. Freddie Mo, TV1 News.
NASFAN will be hosting its first ever Top 100 CEOs Investment Conference this Wednesday, July the 5th at the Crown Hotel in Port Moresby. The NASFAN Top 100 CEOs Investment Conference is designed by the fund's investment division purposely to facilitate collaboration and dialogue among key stakeholders within the investment community. This one-day exclusive event will feature insightful presentations from 23 speakers based within Papua New Guinea and overseas, including panel discussions and networking opportunities, providing a conducive environment for participants to share their experiences, exchange ideas, and build meaningful connections. By bringing together CEOs from various industries, NASFAN aims to foster an environment that encourages collaboration and enables investors to identify potential investment avenues. The conference will provide a comprehensive overview of Papua New Guinea's economic landscape, highlighting the key sectors and emerging trends that offer lucrative investment prospects. Minister for Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology, Don Pollier, is concerned why citizens would share a social media post titled Cache of Grades and whether this statement is backed with evidence. He said the statement was also published in the press. Minister Pollier assured the public this allegation made against higher education institutions will be investigated.
Minister for Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology, Don Polye, has assured the public that the case for grades, allegations made on social media and widely shared, will be looked into. He is concerned that the allegations is made against higher education institutions in the country and compromises the integrity and core values of these tertiary institutions. He said the Chancellor of the University of Papua New Guinea is working with the department's acting secretary to verify these claims. Minister Polye stated that corruption is a global, cross-cutting issues that the public and private sector must face together to guarantee a sustainable future and progress on the long-term challenges we are facing. Hence, higher education and digital technologies can be powerful and mutually reinforcing tools in this regard. He said zero corruption in all higher education institutions in Papua New Guinea was his manifesto when he launched the program to digitalize the higher education sector. Polye reiterated that technology is becoming a reliable friend to the government and the Hearst seeking to combat corruption because combined with their political will, technology can change the policy-making process of public service delivery and the higher education space. Digitalization will allow government and the Hearst to establish effective anti-corruption bodies and adapt to the requirements of the digital society and achieve the goals of sustainable development. Freddie Mo, TVWAN News.
With the commencement of Term 3 next week, pressure is on for teachers nationwide to prepare all grade 9s this year to sit for exams next year under the standard-based curriculum. In Madang, Tuspab Secondary School has taken on the initiative to conduct in-service for its staff and invited teachers from other schools. At the closing ceremony, in-service trainer Kletus Kavagu, Tuspab Secondary Deputy Principal Administration, stressed on the uniformity of delivery within the education system for quality results to be achieved.
In-service trainer Kletus Kavagu, Tuspab Secondary Deputy Principal Administration, said Madang Province has done poorly academically in the last decade. One of the factors was the fact that there is no proper venue for teachers to share ideas in enhancing learning, resulting in the collapse of student performance. Kavagu is confident that this one-week intensive in-service will enable the province to set a new benchmark in the top 10 performing schools in the country, as it did before. He believes that once the SBC is rolled out effectively, it will transform and deliver the required results from students. He encouraged all principals and teachers to pass on the knowledge gained to other participating schools who are unable to attend the in-service.
The challenge is now on each one of us as we depart from here. I would like to encourage all of us to continue this spirit of teamwork in delivering what you have learned to your fellow teachers at your respective schools.
Rachel Waduna, in-service coordinator of Tuspab Secondary School, believes they have achieved the training outcomes.
The outcome we wanted at the end of this week was to prepare the yearly plan, complete that, plus have the Term 3 plan ready for the implementation, which I would say that I am very much satisfied because we have achieved our objective of having those two things prepared and ready.
Rachel Williams, principal of Anabag High School in Middle Ramu District, expressed how fortunate she is for participating in the in-service.
Coming from a very isolated school like Anabag High School, there are a lot of other schools that are around the same area at Middle Ramu. It takes about 2 days to reach town by boat along the Dirty Ramu River. And we lack a lot of resources, and having come around to attend this in-service, it has taught us a lot of things that we should implement.
Business students teacher from St. Michael's Braham High School, Tama Mesban, traveled in from the remote Usino Bundi district and is ready to share what's been learned with fellow teachers. Tracy Pa, TVWAN News.
4 new executives for the National Airlines Employers Association was declared by PNG Electoral Commission and sworn in last Friday in Port Moresby. They are President Joe Caspar, Daphne Marin Jr., Vice President, Simeon Ealedona, Senior Vice President, and Alan Mack, Treasurer. The declaration signifies the recognitions of the role played by industrial executives in shaping up the vision and the future of the aviation industry.
The striving stage of democracy that exists with PNG and the freedom we enjoy to exercise such activity is of paramount importance, says the acting CEO for PNG and New Guinea, Gary Sidon. Sidon said that the declaration shows the ability to have fair representation in the workforce of the aviation industry.
Demonstrates an ability to have fair representation within the workplace. And it is certainly reassuring from the executive and an employee of Air Niugini myself, an association of such standing and respect can be accorded this process of representing our valued employees.
He said aviation workers have an important role to provide competent, safe and accessible air transport services to the people of this country. Sidon told the executives that they are now charged with great responsibility in the office to deliver effective service to the 17,000 men and women who are dedicated to this airline. Industrial Registrar Ellen Salau said unions are an integral part of the economy and it is not an easy task.
It's not one of those easy tasks to get into managing a union. Unions are an integral part of the economy, but you work within the law and within the rules and constitution of the union.
She said the executives represent the nation airline and must be conducted within the laws of PNG.
You represent the workers of the national airline. National airline meaning this is Papua New Guinea's airline. So in your conduct, it has to be within the laws of Papua New Guinea, and you are guided within the ambit of your rules and constitution.
The President, Joe Caspar, said aviation workers faced unique challenges.
Aviation workers face unique challenges, including long hours, irregular schedules, and demanding environments. By promoting collective bargaining and ensuring robust labor laws, we can create an environment that fosters mutual respect and protect the well-being of those who keep our industry soaring.
He said, however, achieving social justice in industrial practices within the aviation industry is a matter of paramount importance that he and his team aims to achieve. Tracy Pa, TVWAN News.
Kesi Sawang, member for Rai Coast and Vice Minister of International Trade and Investment, is the new Minister for Labour and Employment. Sawang was officially sworn in office by Governor-General Sir Bob Dadai on Monday, July the 3rd. There to witness the signing was Prime Minister James Marape, Mrs. Marape, Madang Governor Ramzi Pariwa, and Minister for International Trade and Investments Richard Maru.
Kesi Sawang, member for Rai Coast, is now Minister for Labour and Employment. Prime Minister James Marape said the portfolio was left vacant after the dismissal of Brian Kramer as a serving member of Papua New Guinea Parliament by a leadership tribunal.
And so she brings into Cabinet all round of experience to contribute into the way we will be running our country going forward. She will fill into the role as a Labour and Employment Minister, a portfolio that the Honourable Brian Kramer had, and all this with respect to the Honourable Kramer's appeal that is going on before the Supreme Court.
PM Marape said the appointment is historical.
Not just as member for Rai Coast, but representing all our mothers and daughters of our country And having a woman leader in the ranks of government, we could not have gone past her in respect to a vacancy that was in cabinet.
Marape said the appointment had the backing of 103 members of parliament who have confidence in Sawang. Minister for Trade and Investment Richard Maru said Minister Sawang brings into the cabinet vast experience and confidence in members of the People First Party.
It's been a call that's well and truly overdue, and we are looking for someone who can do the job. And Prime Minister, thank you. You've given it to one of the best members of parliament who can do the job. She comes from the industry with a lot of experience, public service, and I have no doubt she will do a good job with all of our support.
Minister Sawang said she now carries even more the voice of women and girls in the cabinet.
You are now bringing in the voices of women and girls of Papua New Guinea into your cabinet.
She has been challenged with replacing up to 10,000 jobs held down by expatriates that should otherwise be done by Papua New Guineans. Tracy Pa, TV1 News.
You're watching TV1 News. Stay with us for more after the break.
There's a sense of pride when you're able to do something right, a financial decision that has just really good benefits. With BSP Life Insurance, there's that alleviation of that worry when you pass away. The benefits of the BSP Life Insurance would meet those expenses on behalf of my family. If you're young and you have kids, you owe it to your children to make sure they're not left behind when you pass on.
With you for life.
Enjoy life when we work together, making happy memories that last forever. Hot in talk, young or old, a scale-raised family meal with home. We'll bring out the smiles, cause it's our favorite from us. Tennessee cola, scale rice, don't scale price. Tennessee cola, scale rice, don't scale price. Amber, you like it?
A true champion is measured by their courage, their determination, and their passion to never give up and to always keep trying. With a delicious Milo and milk taste and added nutrients, Milo and milk is a great way to fuel our little champions with nourishing energy every day. Because true champions give it their all.
Milo, PNG and Mia. Prime PNG made.
More clean, more sweet. Flame natural white sugar. Make more.
Right across the nation, we eat snacks crackers. Emi trupla. All get a young planalapun, only like him snacks crackers. Only make him here, no PNG, one-time laying biscuit company. It's crunchy and tasty. It's irresistible.
Back the Tigers. Beautiful ball and a try for Osako in the corner.
I need 10 G's by next week. I gotta pay for my daughter's school. Bro, they on vacation. How about we throw the party in the King's house? We gonna invite all the celebrities. We can make 10 times the money. Tonight is our last shot. Have you seen how out of control this party is?
House Party premieres Saturday, July 8th, 10 p.m. on HBO.
Welcome back. 3 inaugural commissioners of the PNG Independent Commission Against Corruption were sworn into office this morning by Governor General Sir Bob Dadai at the Government House. Andrew Forbes, Daniel Bolsh, and Graham Gill arrived in the country on Monday in time for the occasion.
The PNG Independent Commission Against Corruption's 3 inaugural commissioners are Commissioner Andrew Forbes, Deputy Commissioner Operations and Technical Services Daniel Bolsh, and Deputy Commissioner Prevention and Corporate Administration Graham Gill. All 3 commissioners are new to Papua New Guinea. Commissioner Forbes says that though they bring with them the benefit of a wealth of experience in their respective fields, they will be mindful of the cultural differences in different parts of the country.
On behalf of the Deputy Commissioners, Graham Gill and Daniel Bolsh, I would like to firstly thank the Government and the people of Papua New Guinea. We wish to thank all those who have played their part over the years, and it's been a long time coming, for introducing the ICAC legislation. We congratulate both sides of Parliament for voting in unanimously the legislation. We must also acknowledge and commend those who have been brave over the years in standing up against corruption.
ICAC Interim Chairman Thomas Elu says the swearing-in of the commissioners is a milestone achievement for PNG. Elu also announced that his role as the interim chairman has come to an end with the swearing-in of the 3 commissioners.
The commissioners swearing in today is a milestone achievement for Papua New Guinea. They are here to help in the fight against corruption for the betterment of our country. You may be wondering what will become of my role as interim chairman of ICAC. My role comes to an end today, but I will still be available to assist the commissioners to settle in.
Meantime, the commissioners acknowledged that fighting corruption in PNG will be complex. This is due to contextual factors such as cultural diversity, geography, history, socio-economic and politics. They are, however, committed to addressing corruption for the betterment of the people of Papua New Guinea. Maricela Kelleton, TVWAN News.
The government of Papua New Guinea, through the Mineral Resources Authority, has granted 6 exploration licenses to Pan-Ost Freda River Limited's parent company. Mining Minister Sir Ano Pala says the approval of these exploration licenses is a demonstration of the government's commitment to move the Freda River project forward.
Since 2014, Pan-Ost has committed over $260 million. That is well over 870 million kina on the Freda River project through the 2 feasibility studies completed in 2016 and 2018. Pan-Ost General Manager Studies Phil McCormack says this includes ongoing community support, government relations and stakeholder engagements. With 26 on-site staff, the company assists with helicopters for medical emergencies, provides support in the areas of education, health and in the local communities as well. This support has continued since established in 2014.
Pan-Ost has been here since 2014, has invested significant money into this Freda River project. We look forward to working with the government of PNG through the regulatory process, ensuring that all of the steps of the process are completed correctly. We are willing and waiting to work with the government of PNG to ensure that we can deliver a world-class project.
Mineral Resources Authority Acting Managing Director Jerry Gary says the state team manpower is stretched between the Wafi-Golpu project and Poger Mine project and thus has not progressed the assessment of the Freda River project at this stage.
But as soon as we get one of the projects off the ground, we will be seriously looking at assessing and permitting Freda River project. So having said that, it is my pleasure to have the Minister sign off on the 6 supporting exploration tenements. Those grounds will ultimately hold various infrastructures for Freda River project.
Mining Minister Sir Ano Pala says the approval of these exploration licenses is a demonstration of the government's commitment to move the Freda River project forward.
Our systems of permitting, our systems of administering the permit system is on top of their game, as a result of which we have now reached this stage. This is a demonstration of a government commitment and a demonstration of our commitment, our confidence in the industry and the players in the game.
MRA's acting managing director says the Frida River project is a major undeveloped resource in Papua New Guinea. The state is looking to ensure that all effort is given towards permitting the project after the Wafi, Gopu and Pogeramite projects are sorted. Mary Silla Kelleton, TVWAN News.
Leaders of Western Province are saying no to land compensation. Instead, they are encouraging landowners to allow their land to be toiled for future benefits. Compensation used across Papua New Guinea to pay for many customary related matters, including the use of land. However, leaders of Western Province are saying no to compensation to landowners. Instead, they want landowners to allow their land to be used for environment purposes, including large-scale agriculture. Members for South Fly and Minister for Livestock, Seki Agisa, urged landowners from all over the province to free up their land to be toiled and generate a viable income earning opportunity.
We got our land to get that 150 kilo. We were just told about 150 kilo or 200 kilo vanilla per kilo. And yet we keep on waiting for compo. It's not only here. It's everywhere along the river system all the way to Daru. We can get that 150 kilo out from the land. But I thank every one of us coming to here because this is a very important project where everybody has to take ownership of this project and start going back to your land, to toil the land, make use of your land so you can benefit as much as.
North Fly member James Donald supports Minister Agisa.
Like pass, you may got 8 more, 10 more years. Now, no good to something by pull down one commodity by helping people do it, but stop close to hurry up. That's the message. Now, please, find him somewhere who said in somewhere he got Sawelo. Grow him, hurry up so that time within 10 years here, make a kaiga finish of feeding people. You make a knock and pull down the time of the pass.
The Kyunga Agro-Industrial Center and Vanilla Project in Samagos village of North Fly District is one of the first launched in the province. It won't be the last. The Agro-Industrial Center was completed in June 2023, and Fly Vanilla is concurrently supporting community awareness and conducting research and development to ensure the participation and success of local smallholder farmers. And now the finance news. The kina closed unchanged at $0.280 in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, your kina was buying $0.2725, $0.4056 Australian dollars, $0.2421 euro, and $0.3906 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, all closed higher, while palm oil and crude oil closed the day lower. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed higher, the ASX is trading higher, and all ordinaries is trading higher as well. TV1 News continues after the break with the news from around the region. Stay with us.
It was during and after COVID that really motivated me to want to take up life insurance. I think savings is very important, and I think One Talk Delight provides a disciplined approach to savings, and it's a good investment to want to think about the future because it's always nice to have plans for what you want to do later on.
With you for life.
He loves the Maroons. He loves the Blues. But there's one thing that brings everyone together. SB Lager, Bunyamyumi.
Hiya, Mama. You wait then, but me add him special flavor.
Put in more flavor, put in more taste. magic kakaro, get up and big smile on face. Time for Kim chicken, a grateful mutu. Sip, sip, the moo, yes, magic on you.
Maggi, the taste PNG loves.
It's in the highs and in the lows. It's in the big things and the small things too. It's hard to put into words, but you'll know it when you see it. Terrain tamer, when quality counts.
I don't think you're a big bad spy. I think you just messed up.
I'm not trying to be a whistleblower, that's crazy.
What if I said that you printed out classified information? Reality. Was there something that just pushed you over the edge on this?
Reality premieres Tuesday, July 18th, 9 p.m. on HBO.
Welcome to NRL 360 Rugby League. Ready to rock town.
I think all the clubs are sitting out there and they're watching this with interest.
Welcome back. Indonesia is prepared to pay a ransom of $5 billion to a Papuan separatist group to secure the release of New Zealand pilot Philip Mertens, but talks have stalled 5 months after his kidnapping. Papua police said the ransom was one of several demands proposed by the West Papuan National Liberation Army, a few weeks after the first video of the Susi Air pilot was released. Since then, the group has never again engaged in negotiations, but the requested amount of 5 billion rupiah can still be negotiated, says Papua Police. As President Joko Widodo prepared to fly to Australia for a state visit, he said Indonesia would prioritize negotiation, but did not elaborate. The separatist group says the New Zealand pilot is not the enemy. The lack of access to health services is a constant worry. Delays in accessing healthcare meant one central Queensland man waited months to access potentially life-saving cancer treatment.
What was once her husband's favourite spot in their Mount Morgan home is now a place for Gria to mourn him. In December, Ray Burgess's GP suspected he had colon cancer, but he didn't begin treatment for months.
We spent 4.5 months waiting on outpatient waiting lists to get imaging done. He had said to me a few times, they're just going to leave me up here to rot.
With underlying health issues, Ray Burgess was transferred between hospitals. In April, the 66-year-old was deemed too unwell for surgery and instead began chemotherapy the following month, more than 150 days after his initial doctor's appointment.
My husband died on the 3rd of June here in Mount Morgan.
Queensland Health says it tries to provide healthcare close to home, but there are instances where people still need to travel for specialist care. Data shows almost 90% of Category 1 oncology outpatients are seen within the clinically recommended timeframe of 30 days. But for urology patients, like Ray Burgess, it's only 55%.
As a GP, it is very concerning that my patients, they do need to wait to see a specialist, to wait to get treatment.
The government says it's spending billions of dollars on more beds, cutting wait times and bolstering staff. But Greer Burgess says more must be done.
Something similar to Ryan's rule for an inpatient in hospital, where we can say, hey, this is taking far too long. We need someone else to have a look at this.
I'm very happy to look at how we can make it easier for patients to escalate their concerns if they are on the wait list and their condition deteriorates.
Pushing for lasting change in the midst of her grief.
China is sending a military-run hospital ship to the Pacific as competition grows with the United States and its allies for influence in the region. The 14,300-ton Peace Ark, which is bigger than a typical Chinese destroyer, will offer medical aid to Chinese citizens and residents of the countries it visits on its 9th humanitarian harmony mission. It is scheduled to visit Kiribati, Tonga, Vanuatu, Solomon Islands, and Timor-Leste. Once known as Australia's gold standard COVID quarantine centre, the Howard Springs village near Darwin has been handed over to the nation's Defence Department, effective immediately.
Off on a new chapter for this former workers' camp on Darwin's outskirts.
So this facility is going to be very, very well used by the Australian Defence Force and by international forces into the future.
Best known as a quarantine centre during the COVID pandemic, thousands of soldiers will soon call Howard Springs home under a 5-year lease deal with the NT government and scope to extend that to 2038.
It will cost about $50 million a year. That's for the lease payment, which is around $18 million a year.
We think the fit with Defence is a really good fit, particularly, as I said, with a number of the Defence exercises taking place during peak tourism season and also with our bases quite full during that time.
It started life as a camp for gas giant Inpex in 2014. The centre then came to the fore during the pandemic, housing Australians returning from abroad, from Wuhan in China to athletes from the Tokyo Olympics. Most recently it was used for outback flood evacuees. The Territory's leader today pledging it can still be stood up for such cases.
And I'm hoping there's no more pandemics around the corner, but if there was a need such as a pandemic or a natural disaster and this was decided to be best used for Territorians, we can step that up.
US Marines will be among those to be based at Darwin's new defence digs, as well as other foreign allies, as the Commonwealth pivots its forces to the north. The new lease arrangements have already kicked into gear, with the first soldiers arriving to their new accommodation this afternoon. Over the coming weeks, 1,300 soldiers will roll in preparation for international exercise Talisman Sabre.
And back home, the Western Province Development Platform has identified key priority investments, and more cash crops are said to be grown in Western Province in the coming years, starting with vanilla. Farmers survey and extension teams comprised of Fly Vanilla, WPDPI and OTDF extension officers visited 11 villages in the North Fly district throughout 2022 and interviewed 109 farmers who are cultivating 18,600 vanilla vines over 5,640 hectares of land. Vanilla farmers in Western Province are keen in exploring vanilla farming, as well as bring more people into farming vanilla. The Western Province Development Platform has identified key priority investments, and more cash crops are set to be grown in the coming years, starting with vanilla. There will be other high-value cash crops identified and designed in the West Agro Master Plan.
Governor Yoto and the leadership, since taking office in 2018-17, decided to host the Western Province Development Forum in 2018. And in that space of conversation, only talk, only identifying key priority investments for the Western Province. And they said that we will invest our time and efforts and mobilize our people and development partners to invest in healthy education and agribusiness.
Provincial leaders agreed to work together using the public-private partnership for engagements and build agro-industrial centres in selected locations across the province. Kayun said the desire to have such facilities is long overdue. North Fly community vanilla farmer Igela Jerry said enthusiastic vanilla farmers are taking on the challenge. Farmers survey and extension teams comprised of Fly Vanilla, WPDPI and OTDF extension officers visited 11 villages in the North Fly district throughout 2022 and interviewed 109 farmers who are cultivating 8,600 vanilla vines over 5,640 hectares of land. Fly Vanilla started buying beans from farmers in mid-2022, paying out in excess of 5,500 kina to nearly 100 farmers for 70 kg of green and dried vanilla beans. By the end of the year 2022, farmers were supplying beans as far as Nomad, Strickland River, also Bib and Telefomin. Currently, the interest in vanilla farming is increasing. And now the weather forecast for the next 24 hours. Back home, regional forecast for the next 24 hours. Southern region, isolated showers and thunderstorms and cooler nights. Momase region, isolated showers and thunderstorms. In New Guinea Islands region, scattered showers and thunderstorms. In Highlands region, isolated showers and thunderstorms, then scattered morning fog, possibly of frost. And that ends the news segment. We'll have the sports segment after the break with Rex.
Hey, Rugby League fanatics! Want to watch the State of Origin game for you live in Sydney? Buy a new postpaid TV kit today for only 199 kina plus a plan for as low as 85 kina monthly with equivalent deposit and go into a draw to win. So what are you waiting for? Visit our Digicel HQ shop at Gordon's on weekdays between 8 a.m. and 4 p.m. or dial 1515 to speak to a TV agent to get your postpaid TV plan today. Digicel TV. More channels, more choice, more value.
What a start, Australia! Johnny back to the corner. He flicks it out the back door and a try on debut. Oh, and then he ran into big opportunity. There he is. He's over.
While it's disappointing they've lost the series, there's still a job to be done and a legacy to uphold.
Oh, a couple of fire brands coming together here.
There's nothing more intense than this thing. I've been in racing my entire life since I was 3 or 4 years old. Anytime you get in one of these things, your life is in danger.
There's no room for error. I mean, this is life or death. I'm determined.
We travel across the country with this beast, and people just go nuts.
Space. Box cross, Devon fire, rushes in. Here he is. And again. Has he not got in? It has. The system stays off. In by Navas. 1-1. Explosion of Andalusian joy.
There's so many people. The crowds were really getting out of control.
These people were crazy, right?
They were watching something that was unbelievable.
There are certain moments in golf that kind of stick out for you. 18 holes, a mano a mano.
What a killer blow.
Two men both playing at their best.
Would you believe that?
It's almost a collision course of generations.
If Tom was David, Jack was Goliath.
These two going head-to-head
took off to a new level on the global stage.
It was like destiny. They're like two gunslingers.
It was just one day. The world had a new story that had never been told before. It had a story about two Americans fighting in a foreign land that changed the way people saw golf.
They took out every tool in the bag that they had.
I don't think it's talked about enough.
Here she comes.
It's the best head-to-head duel in major championship history.
Welcome back. Jiwaka prodigy and PNG Hunters winger Siki Konden is living his childhood dream, and that's making PNG Hunters squad in 2023. Konden, who's a prolific try-scoring machine for current National Rugby League champions Croton Hella Wigman, is certainly embracing his breakthrough season playing at the QRL level.
It's every child's dream to play for the Hunters and the Commonwealth one day. For young Siki Konden, his rugby league started back in his home province of Jiwaka before moving to Port Moresby for studies. That's when he joined Port Moresby Foundation Rugby League club Paga Panthers under the guidance and mentorship of former Vipers and Kumul winger Richard Wagambi. Konden's development and progress at Paga caught a few eyebrows after they lost to Tarangau in the grand final 3 years ago.
It started back in Jiwaka, and then to Gerau Mosby, which is Paga Panthers, and then I played there. We played the semi-final year with the Tarangaus, and then we got lost, and then I was picked up by the Wigmen, and then played with the Wigmen for 2 years, and then this year I got selected to play with the Hunters training squad. So yeah.
Konden was signed up by Wigman in 2021 and never looked back since. He's been one of the club's assets, especially his attacking prowess on the edge, using skill, agility and speed to burn opponents.
I do play winger, and winger is very tough. It's a very tough position. You have to make the final decision at the corner, so we do a lot of things like defending, attacking and all this to defend the try line. It's very difficult when it comes to a winger. So for myself, I'm keep working on my defense, and then attack. I know I'll do good.
After the outstanding performance with Wigman at last year's Digicel Cup Grand Final victory over Gurius, Konden was slated straight into the Hunter squad for the 2023 Host Plus Cup season. Although he's played a handful of Q Cup games so far this year, a niggling shoulder injury has kept him on the sideline while going through rehab.
For this, to be honest, I can say that I'm still learning. This is my learning year, so I don't mind. But I'll see how it goes. Playing with the Hunters is one of my dreams, and then from here, I'll still have to go forward.
Reflecting back on his journey, Condon said he's always looked up on and inspired by Wigman's big guns, especially former captain Valentine Callaghan, Stanford Talita, Samuel Yagip and Casey Dixon. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
Lake City FC made a miraculous comeback to finish with 2 goals all against Gulf Comara FC in round 1 of the National Premier League competition at the PNG Football Stadium, Port Moresby, on Monday. The miraculous comeback to level the goals 2-2 in the last 10 minutes of the regulation time says a lot about the reigning champions of the National Soccer League, Lake City FC. Their attitude, courage and commitment to remain competitive in the match despite the scoreboard shows that they are still in it and willing to defend their championship title this season. Losing their sponsorship 2 weeks ago only to find a new one in Lake City Authority didn't deter their round 1 performance. The men from Lake City showed class in their first game and will only get better as the season goes on. They were 1-0 in the first half in the dominant display by the host team Gulf Comara FC. Their chances of leveling the score were put into even more doubt through the boot of the club's new recruit Santos Mano. The match was over for the Lake City FC when they trailed behind with 2-0. Men from Lake City made magic to equalize. Following this remarkable finish by Lake City FC, Gulf Comara head coach David Awas said, "Silly errors at the back end of the game gave Lake City the opportunity to score. Otherwise, Gulf Comara played extremely well and dominated the game." Gulf Comara is looking to give its best in the next game in the campaign for the finals. For Lake City FC, it was amazing football on the pitch. And that's all in sports. Over to you, Jasmine.
Thank you, Rex. That ends this edition of TV1 News. Pleasant viewing. Bye for now.
The TV1 News was proudly brought to you by BSP, our bank, our people.